Welcome back. In this episode, we're going to show you how to make a very popular hors d'oeuvre, deviled eggs.
It can be traced in recipes as far back as ancient Rome, where they were traditionally served as the first course.
I have here a dozen room temperature eggs that we're going to put in a pot, medium-sized pot with cold water. And we're going to give that a tablespoon of white vinegar. That will help with the peeling actually. So just a tablespoon of white vinegar, like that. And then we're going to bring this up to a boil. And once this happens, then we switch it off and we put on a lid and we set a timer for 12 minutes. Time's up. Now we need to stop the cooking process. I have a bowl of cold water and some ice cubes. So we'll create an ice bath. And then let's get our eggs out of here and into our ice water. We need to leave them here for at least 15 minutes till they're completely cold. Time to get them out. Onto some paper. And whoop, look, one decided to explode.
Casualty of war.
But that doesn't matter because either way we were going to sacrifice a couple of eggs so we have more yolk for the filling, so it doesn't really matter. Now it's the tedious task of peeling the eggs.
Well, everything comes at a cost in life.
That's so very true. That's so very true. Let's see, roll them a little bit. See how we do. See how lucky we are here. Seems to be sort of okay.
Well, you should avoid to use super fresh eggs.
Yeah, they're very hard to peel. These are actually okay. Look, they peel off pretty good. Well, not all eggs, they peel nicely, so always boil extra than you need.
Especially if you're waiting for guests.
Absolutely, and that's what we are doing actually. Then we need to halve our eggs carefully, like this. Got it through, and look, beautifully boiled yolk, nothing green or dark at the edges. That's just perfect. Now we need to pop out the yolk. See if I can get that out easy. Not totally easy, but it's coming out. With a teaspoon you can sort of get it out. Like that. And the other half. That went better. And now we continue with the rest. Removing the yolks is definitely not an easy task.
Maybe that's why they're called deviled eggs, because it's a hell of a job.
Most probably, actually. So here we have our precious yolks that we're going to smash up with a fork. You could do this in a blender if you want a smoother filling, but we like to have a little bit more texture. We're going to split this in two because we're making two different versions. We start with the ingredients which are common in both versions.
And pretty much in every version of deviled eggs, right?
Exactly. That's the base recipe. For 6 eggs, you need 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. This is homemade mayonnaise. There's a link down below how to make that. Absolutely fantastic. So 2 of those. Then we continue with 1.5 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. Shall we go with 2? Yeah, mustard is good with eggs. So we give it 2. Like that. And we're going to give it a little bit of vinegar, like a teaspoon in each, just a little bit of acidity to balance off the fattiness of the mayonnaise. A pinch of salt. A small pinch of freshly ground black pepper, not too much of this. Like that. And then a little bit of olive oil in each, like maybe a tablespoon. We might give it a little bit more depending on the texture when we start mashing this together. And the final ingredient that differentiates the two. In the first version, Sriracha, 1 to 2 teaspoons depending how hot you want it, something like that. gives it a nice color also. And the other one gets our homemade Habanero hot sauce. And for this I'm going with, let's say, half a teaspoon, because this is really spicy.
So you're gonna make evil eggs here.
This is evil eggs. Here they are. Now we're going to put them in the fridge to firm up a little bit before we pipe them into the eggs. We put our filling into a piping bag. So let's see if we can make them look pretty. I'm not a professional at this, but let's give it a shot.
You're an artist, honey.
That looks good.
That's very nice.
Look, my wife, the decorator at work.
Yeah, well, I like to have some nice thumbnails.
And we do have nice thumbnails, so that's pretty good. So,
Taste it now.
Yeah, I am, and I think I'm going to go for the spicy version because I know the other one is too mild for me anyway. So
the spawn of the devil.
That's actually very good, and it has a nice kick to it with our homemade hot sauce. You should try mine also.
I might. But definitely they look impressive for a nice party.
That's for sure.